Today, we're uncovering one of the most misunderstood secrets about attraction. It's not looks, money, or smooth talk. It's the power of strong, healthy boundaries. Want to know one of the most misunderstood secrets about what truly turns women on? It's not the abs, it's not the car, it's not even the smooth talk. It's boundaries. Yes, strong, grounded, unapologetic boundaries. And here's the truth most guys never learn. Boundaries don't turn women off, they turn them on. But I'm not talking about fake alpha posturing or manipulative games. I'm talking about real masculine boundaries, the kind that come from deep self-respect, unshakable purpose, and a man who knows exactly who he is. In today's video, I'm breaking down 6 specific boundaries that trigger subconscious attraction in women. Not through force, but through presence. These aren't power plays, they're clarity moves. And when you hold them, something shifts inside her. She feels it, she respects it, she responds to it. Stick around especially for boundary number 6, because that one, it doesn't just protect your power, it redefines how she sees you, and more surprisingly, how she sees herself when she's with you. So let's dive in. Boundary 1, the unavailable advantage. Your time is yours. That's the first and most powerful boundary you can ever set. Now, at first, this one feels dangerous. You don't reply to her text right away. You don't drop everything when she calls. You don't rearrange your entire schedule just to be available for her on a whim. Your mind screams, wait, won't she lose interest? Won't she think I don't care? Won't she move on to someone who's more responsive? Actually, the opposite happens. When you're not always available, you send a message, not with words, but with energy. My time has value. My life is already full. You're stepping into something that already has motion, meaning, and direction. That subtle tension, that slight uncertainty she feels about where she fits into your world, that mystery, it's magnetic because constant availability screams one thing: I've got nothing else going on. Scarcity creates value. It always has. And when a man becomes rare, he becomes irresistible. You don't chase her. You draw her in simply by holding space for your own life. Now tell me, have you ever been too available and watched her slowly lose interest? Drop the word guilty in the comments if that's ever happened to you, because this one change alone can shift your entire dating dynamic. Boundary 2, the no apology rule. Say no without guilt. This one boundary can change everything. Here's the psychological twist that most men miss. How you say no matters more than how often you say yes. Picture this. She invites you to something that doesn't align with your schedule or energy. You want to say no, but your gut says, don't upset her. So you end up saying, I'm so sorry. I just have this one thing and maybe I can move it, but I'll try. I promise. You over-explain. You backpedal. You soften your truth until it barely sounds like a boundary anymore and she feels it. Now compare that to this. Hey, I won't be able to make it, but I hope it's great. Let's catch up later this week. Polite, clear, confident, that's attractive. You didn't fidget. You didn't apologize for existing. You didn't ask for permission. You just owned your time. A man who can say no without guilt doesn't just protect his schedule. He communicates that he trusts himself. And in a world full of men trying to please everyone, that kind of self-trust, it's magnetic. Boundary 3, the respect reflex. Call out subtle disrespect calmly. Most men think disrespect is loud, but here's the truth. It's usually whispered. It hides in the tiniest moments. An eye roll when you're speaking, a sarcastic jab about your job, a dismissive comment in front of friends, a joke that cuts just a little too deep. And most guys, they brush it off. They think she's just joking. They let it slide. They tell themselves it's no big deal. But here's the truth you need to understand. Letting those moments go doesn't make you chill. It makes you invisible. Not to the world, to her. Because whether she knows it consciously or not, she's watching how you handle disrespect. And if you don't respect yourself enough to call it out, she won't respect you either. Now, I'm not saying you snap or lecture her or start a fight. You stay calm, you look her in the eye and say, hey, I don't let people talk to me like that. Just that. Simple, firm, grounded. That one line does what 1,000 sweet texts never could. It creates polarity. It shows her that you're a man with a standard, that you honor yourself, that being around you requires presence, awareness, and respect. And here's the magic. When a woman sees you respect yourself enough to speak up, she doesn't pull away. She feels safer. She leans in. She becomes more feminine in your presence because you're holding the frame. Now, have you ever let something slide and felt a little off afterward? Drop the word frame in the comments if that's ever happened to you, because these micro moments, they reveal everything. Boundary 4, the calm test. Lead instead of react. Let me tell you something that will separate you from 99% of men. A woman will test your emotional center long before she trusts your emotional depth. And most men, they fail that test within minutes. Here's how it goes. She throws in a playful tease. She makes a bold or sarcastic remark. She brings up something edgy just to see what happens. And what do most guys do? They snap, get defensive, explain themselves, or worse, they shut down. You know what that tells her? He's fragile. He doesn't know who he is. He can't handle intensity. But the man who stays centered, the one who hears the jab, pauses, smirks, and says something like, "That's cute. You always test guys this fast." That man, he just flipped the script. Because emotional control isn't about being grounded. And when a woman senses that she can't rattle you, she relaxes. She respects you. And deep down, she starts wondering, what else is he unshakable about? And that question, that curiosity, it's what draws her deeper. Because while most men are stuck trying to pass her test, you're the man rewriting the test as it happens. Boundary 5, the authority silence. Don't explain, just decide. Let's go back to something most men do without realizing it. They over-explain. They try to make everything sound nice. They write 5-paragraph text to soften a no. They talk themselves into circles just to avoid upsetting her. But here's the problem. Every time you explain yourself too much, you're not clarifying, you're asking for permission. Even if your words sound confident, the energy underneath is uncertain. Let's take a classic example. A man says, "I won't be able to make it tonight. I've had a long week. Work's been stressful, and I think I just need to rest and reset. Hope that's okay. Really sorry again." Now compare that to "can't make it tonight, but let's catch up later this week." See the difference? One is a man trying to justify his choices. The other is a man owning his reality. Because real confidence, it's efficient. It doesn't ramble. It doesn't look for validation. It doesn't try to cushion the truth with 10 emotional airbags. It simply acts. So here's your rule. Say less, mean more. Let your presence do the talking. Because a man who can calmly say what he means and then go silent holds far more power than the one who keeps trying to be understood. She doesn't need your over-explaining. She needs to feel that your words come from certainty. And when she does, you don't just win her attention, you earn her respect. Boundary 6. The mission first code. This is the boundary that flips the whole game. You ready? Here it is. She joins your journey. She doesn't become it. Let that land for a second. Because most men, even smart, ambitious men, lose themselves the moment a woman enters their life. They shift everything for her. They adapt their goals, their schedule, their mindset just to keep her happy. And at first, she might enjoy the attention, but very quickly, something shifts. She starts to feel like your purpose is her, not your vision, not your growth, not your mission. And you know what happens next? The polarity dies. But here's the twist. A woman doesn't want to be your whole world. She wants to be part of a world that's already moving. She wants to join a man with momentum, with a path, with a fire that's burning, with or without her. And when you have that, you become the gravity. She becomes the orbit. And that shift, that's what separates the man she dates from the man she can't stop thinking about. So ask yourself, what's your mission? What are you building? And do your daily actions reflect it? Because when a man wakes up with purpose, protects his focus, and lives like he's here for something bigger, he doesn't have to chase women. Women feel drawn to his direction. Bonus boundary 7, the no fixing rule. Don't fix her emotions, just hold the space. Most men, especially the caring, well-meaning ones, fall into this trap without even realizing it. She's upset, she's venting, she's emotional. And you immediately shift into problem-solving mode. You say things like, just don't worry about it. It's not that big a deal. Here's what you should do. You're overthinking it. Just do this. And although your intentions are good, what she hears is, he doesn't trust my feelings. He's trying to fix me instead of feeling me. Here's the truth. A grounded man doesn't try to repair her emotional state. He holds space for it. He listens, he breathes, he stays present without interrupting, fixing, or fidgeting. Because a man who can sit calmly with a woman in her storm and not panic, not flee, not tell her how to feel, that man becomes her anchor. He becomes the one she trusts, leans on, and craves. Not because he solved her problems, but because he didn't abandon her in them. Let me say it again for the men in the back. You don't need the right words, you need the right presence. Bonus boundary 8, the mystery principle. Protect your full story. Don't overshare too soon. Here's something few talk about in dating advice. Women are most attracted not to the men who reveal